Hello everyone, my name is Kodomore and welcome back to the LibGDX Game Dev Guide. This video is for if you're going to be using IntelliJ to follow along with this series like I am. So you're going to want to select the Import Project option for IntelliJ. That can also be found in the File menu if you already have the application open. And you're going to want to browse to whatever folder you generated your project in. So I have this LibGDX Guide folder, and here's my Zentaris folder that I generated my project in. So you're going to want to go into that and select the build.gradle file in the main project folder here to import and click OK. Now Gradle is actually a build tool that helps you manage multiple projects and dependencies, which is why LibGDX creates a Gradle project. So it basically allows all those Android and desktop and core projects to work nicely with each other. And your IDE, if you're using IntelliJ or Eclipse, will very nicely integrate with that. So once you have this open and imported your project, I'm going to go up to the left and select the Project tab right here, and we'll expand my Zentaris project, and you'll see that it has been imported into IntelliJ. Now, there's two main projects that we're going to focus on for now. The first is the desktop project, and if you open this up and you go all the way into the source folder, there's this desktop launcher class. This is what's used to first start up your project for running it on a computer for the desktop. Then there's the core project. This project here, if we expand our source and package folders, contains our main game class. And this core project is where all of the code for our game is going to go. And this core project is shared by every other project. Desktop, Android, all of it uses everything in this core folder. You'll notice that LibGDX actually generated some test code in the main game class here, and it simply draws an image to the screen so we can check to see if we can run our LibGDX application. So in order to run this application, we're going to have to go up to the build icon right here in the top right and select Add Configuration. Here we're going to want to go to the top left and click the plus button to add a new application configuration. This is going to specify to IntelliJ how to start our game for the desktop. So we're going to name this Desktop, and we have to specify the main class. So I'll click the three buttons to browse. You're going to want to go to the Project tab, expand your project, and go to the Desktop project, expand that, go into the source folder, and click that Desktop Launcher class. Select OK. That's going to be the main class for starting this for the desktop. Next, we have to specify the working directory. And the working directory is going to change based on how you generated your project. So if I go into my project folder here that generated, I generated an Android project. So if I go into the Android folder, you'll notice that I have this assets folder. This assets folder is where you're going to want to keep all of your images and sounds, everything that has to be loaded in for your game. And that's found in the Android project. However, if you did not generate an Android project, that folder will actually be inside of your core project. You'll have an assets folder here instead. So the location of that assets folder is going to change based on whether or not you generated an Android project. And we basically need to set this working directory to that assets folder. So I'll go ahead and I'll click the browse icon. I'm going to go into my game project. I'm going to go into my Android project and click the assets folder. Again, if you don't have the Android project, that'll be in your core folder, and click OK. So now our working directory is set to the assets folder. Finally, we have to set this class path of module. You'll simply scroll down to this and select your project name zentaris.desktop.main. We'll go ahead and hit the OK button down here, and that'll create this new desktop configuration. And if you hit the play button right next to it, hopefully, if all goes well, this will start up our LibGDX game. And here we go. We have a small window with the Bad Logic Games logo image drawn onto it, and that is the LibGDX test program. Now you can go ahead and ignore these errors that I was getting down here, these warnings and such. That's just due to the JDK that I'm using. That has nothing to do with the actual LibGDX project or anything, and this means that we are good to go and start game development. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.